Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
Here we go from Heinz Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Time to get our first look at the Browns offense led by quarterback Baker Mayfield. And the Browns now at 4-6, 2 wins in a row. And Baker Mayfield in the last win against Pittsburgh, although he was only around 50% throwing the ball, Charles, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions.
And that was the key. Took care of the football because turnovers have been a problem for he and the Browns throughout the season. But how about how he handled himself post-game? After the controversy on the field, how he spoke, I thought he was eloquent. I thought he was to the point. But he spoke as a member of the NFL more than he spoke as a member of the Cleveland Browns. And I thought his comments were absolutely perfect for the moment.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
I'd say it was a pretty nice debut season for Nick Chubb in 2018. He fell just 4 yards short of a 1,000-yard season as a rookie, but he did average over 5 yards per carry and had a 92-yard touchdown run against the Atlanta Falcons, the 3rd longest run in the league last season.
I got you.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Steelers offense coming back out here for their next possession. And you think back to earlier when we talked about Mason Rudolph, his struggles in the game against Cleveland. Really, their offense struggled, just 7 points put up. But early in the game, they lost Smith-Schuster. They lost Deontay Johnson. They lost James Conner. So now at 5-5, can this team make a playoff push?
I thought the Cleveland game would give us the biggest indicator if they could win that one. But the loss plus the loss of personnel that you mentioned, and then go back to the beginning of the season. Ben Roethlisberger lost for the year. I think it's a lot for them to overcome.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Let's go.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. And room there to work it inside the 25.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 at the 19. Rudolph looking to throw it. Setting up the screen. This is Samuels. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 19 yards away. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Football going back to the Cleveland Browns here. And I want to step back and just look at where they are on their season. We mentioned earlier that they're 4-6 now after a 2-game winning streak. And despite the controversy in Week 11 that we all know about, look, they're 2-0 against AFC North opponents. Could they make a push here for the playoffs, CD?
Isn't it interesting how in the beginning of the season so many people had them going to the Super Bowl, which I did not buy into at all, as you might remember. But at the same time, everyone is burying them now. But they do have a chance because they're scheduled. It's one of the lightest ones in the NFL to close the regular season. If they can keep winning and get a little outside help, they might still be in the wild card race. Look at this. They host Miami next, then they're at Pittsburgh, then home against Cincinnati. What did you mention about them in the division? Undefeated so far.
Yeah, 2-0, and you're right. Gosh, you got to think hosting Miami, that's a good look. Home for Cincy, that's a good look. 2 of the next 3, maybe 3 of the next 3, a real possibility. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses, basics, understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Down. 18 Gators. 53. Let's go, baby. They turn over. Get that ball. Get that ball. Let's go. 5.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, you can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. On 2nd and 9, Rudolph. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Greedy Williams, the rookie from LSU. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Rudolph. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On 1st and 10, Rudolph. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 30 yards there, and of course the 1st down as well.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Rudolph. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Connor. And an alley to run. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
That's the end of the 1st quarter. With the score
7-7, our score after 1.
Stick the oar.
What's the run? They're running it.
Let's go.
Now Rudolph on 1st down. And down he goes. A coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it. Larry Ogunjobi breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
On the ready.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
65.
Get it.
On the counter, it's Connor. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Rudolph. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And they'll rally and stop him short of the first down at about the 6. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On first down, Rudolph. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 35-yard line.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. Now Rudolph. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. A 1st down throw from Mayfield. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They throw again on 2nd down. This one's complete and able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
1st down, Browns.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Mayfield on play action. It's caught. Beckham. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Play fake. Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 27-yard line. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will knot things up here late in the first half. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot downfield. Nope. Guaranteed the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game will just start all over.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter three.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, Samuels. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Down, 30 base.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Ready. Let's go.
Here's Rudolph. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Rudolph looking to throw. He finds his tight end, Gentry. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now it's Rudolph. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Again, it's Rudolph. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Here we go, here we go. 60 outlaw.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rudolph. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Rudolph now to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. He will push his way down to about the 14. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6.
For the field goal, a 31-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch twist.
Now Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, The quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
They'll start the drive with Samuels. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now Connor fighting through. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Rudolph going to throw on 3rd and 1. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Back to throw, Rudolph. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
We better not.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
It's just me and you.
Here's Rudolph. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Rudolph looking to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the second time. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Browns on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Mayfield. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been terrific so far. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st down, it's Samuels. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Shotgun handoff to Samuels, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Gotta hold him to 3 to keep this a one-score game. On 2nd down, it's Connor, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Boswell for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Mayfield and the Browns down 20-10, 2:15 remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
First down, Browns.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Mayfield now. It's brought in by Harris. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Mayfield trying to get him up to the line as fast as he can. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Brandon, looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry.
Holding offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
The one thing I have learned about this league, more and more, you've got to take some chances. You know, if you play everything conservatively and play everything exactly like, okay, I know what to do in each situation, I don't think you're going to get very far. I love the call there, going for it, even on his own side of the field.
Yeah, and even though you're on your own side of the field, they were creeping towards midfield, so not as crazy as if they were back at their own 20.
Showed a little faith in the defense too, right?
Yep. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. He gets it complete to Harris. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now Mayfield. Able to find Harris, complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Let's go, D.
Mayfield to throw. This pass complete to Higgins. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. He finds Beckham, complete. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Mayfield with it once more. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Mayfield's pass complete to Demetrius Harris. Touchdown, Denver.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here we go. Set. 60 outlaw.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come
Lead grip.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.